You said excuses. What you mean?
Like I love black men. I did a whole show about this. I love black men. There's no amount of ain't shit niggas that's gonna make me date a white dude. It's just not happening. Whatever excuse you want to use for going getting you a Becky, use it. Do you, fam? But it's an excuse. Cause like I said, ain't no. I don't care how many ain't shit niggas out here. I don't care how many times future blah blah. That's not gonna make me marry and have no baby with no white dude. It's just not. So it's just an excuse to me. But we can go ahead and talk about it since this is a topic.
What's the excuse for? It's an excuse for what?
It's an excuse for saying why I don't date black women, and saying why I don't date black women is because the black women I've experienced have been this, whatever, whatever.
Now, hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackbird 91. We're talking to you guys about the Peace Network again once more. And they came up with this conversation. I think it's an extenuation of the conversation we had in the first part. And they were talking about, obviously, an excuse why black men, date outside of race. And one of this was because black women have a loud mouth, let's say, per se. And what Kayla's kind of coming out with is that it's an excuse. And do you know what it is? It's really interesting because I think with this topic, I can see both sides. And I'm not even talking about in terms of black women having a loud mouth, but in terms of if again, I think your first girl is really important because I think just going back on my experience, you know, I'm down for black women. I went to school with black girls, you know, I was bullied by black girls, you know, but I fell in love. When I got to secondary school, I fell in love with black women. I'll come lie to you. When I got to like 11 years old, fell in love with them, man. I can't lie to you. But before then, I went to an all pretty much all white school, and so there was the Jessicas and the Beckys and the Samanthas and the Shans and all those kind of things, right? And there was barely a black girl in my class. Remember, there was only one. You know, so all you're exposed to is that, and then on your TV, all you're exposed to is white girls on your screen most of the time, right? And so I think for men and women, we may be conditioned slightly differently because we're conditioned to chase, not to wait for the approach. Okay. And so now if you're approaching and you keep getting rejected, it signals to go and change your trajectory. But if you don't have any experience of actually attaining what you like, you may change your perspective in terms of what you do like. Right? Let's say, for instance, a black male is choosing black women, but then finds out the ones that he's trying to go for all end up rejecting him. But then the white woman that he might find attractive too seem to give him some ploy and some play. Then, in that particular case, he may start thinking that he should go after white women, and he'll condition himself to go that place. Again, I think experiences do say a lot, and I think if we do dive into people's experiences as to why they date white, I think you'll find some stories there. I think you'll find some stories there. I think we'll find some stories of rejection there. I think we'll find some stories of acceptance there. I think we'll find some stories of road less traveled, the easy road. I'm not saying that in the sense of like, I want less resistance. I don't want to be fighting to get a girl every single time. You know what I mean? But in regards to the conversation, it's really critical because she speaks about the fact that it's an excuse, and that's what I want to touch on. So if you're new to the channel, do me a massive favor, like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification uploads. We appreciate you guys. A lot loaded, and for those of you returning, you already know what it is, baby. Let's get on with this.
That's what I'm saying.
But you think that's an excuse? I think it's valid.
I think it's an excuse.
I
don't think it's valid.
I think it's very valid. I think for a majority of black men want a black woman. And I think they have tried it in whatever hurt, feelings, bad relationships. And when they hear stories of other cultures being more submissive, not having attitudes, bringing them peace, it brings them to a curiosity. And then when they see men that's actually being successful, I don't have to go through that. I don't go through that. Then they go on to the other side. They passport bros, those SYSBM.
But
So
they don't wind up marrying a chick that actually rock with them. They marry a chick that use them for a come up.
Well,
Most
you
of
know,
the time. Or a green card.
I mean, that's a whole.
They don't count.
Well, but a lot of these black women are doing the same thing. So
Yeah, hypergamy is anything. Is it every woman's nature? Every woman wants to come up. So even if they're
Exactly.
going overseas for a woman to get a come up, What's the difference from a woman wanting to come up over here?
Because the true nature of a woman is gonna come out once they bring her back here, and she ain't gonna be fucking with him after she find out that her options is different anyway.
Well, who says they're bringing her back? I think a lot of these men are saying, I want to stay overseas.
Oh, no, they're not.
Yes, they are.
I mean, I don't really have experience in this in terms of men going overseas and bringing women back. I know one or two people, but it's not my general experience of being around this. I think what they are talking about, the root cause of what they're talking about is, are men going overseas now to get women that are more, quote unquote, submissive, and then bringing them back here? And as Anton is quite pointing out here, you can do that, but the thing is, bringing them back here, not all of them, but you're going to find a lot of them are going to now acclimatize to a different change in attention, right? See, these environments that they're going to get them from, they're in that environment, which has a set of standards of rules and regulations. You come to another place, and it's a different set of rules and different set of regulations that will govern them, and they will seem different. Do you know what I mean? Let's go back in.
I'm literally talked to them a couple of days ago. Shout out to Zoom in Thailand. In Thailand right now with a Thai woman. And does not want to come back to the States.
Is he married to her?
Is that gone? Go.
Is he, wait. Is he married to her?
What, he might be getting married, I'm not sure.
It don't
so,
count.
I mean, I'm not in, but
it don't count.
Well,
if he's not married to her, then it don't count.
Well, I know a couple men that are married overseas.
I
don't want to come back to the States. So what they're saying, it's valid. And I don't want to negate how they feel or the reason why. Some of this is valid.
So
I mean, there is some validity to this conversation, right? In the sense of like, if you experience that aggressive, assertive block from black women, you may want to go to the other side because you're going to go where you're accepted and where you're appreciated. Same way why some black guys grew up and they never were given any time of day from a black woman in their bubble, in their circle, and they end up dating white. I get it, right? And the difference between, again, black men and black women is, again, we do the choosing, so we get the rejected. Now, if a woman obviously doesn't get necessarily chosen, she might get mistreated, but that doesn't mean she's not getting chosen. And I think that's a really big difference between men and women. You know, if you're getting chosen, you can pick up signals of man liking you or showing you attention. But if you're now doing the choosing, you don't often have that same luxury of validation through someone looking at you or giving you a look. That's not how we get validated as men. We get validated when there's an action that produces a result, and then we have clear evidence of our actions working. So if he's consistently getting rejected and he goes to the other side and he sees that they can actually accept him, he might go there. That's just a reasoning. I personally don't think all men go to the other side or go to another race because of that reasoning. I think there's a lot of men who are hurt, broken, traumatized, and go to especially white women and go there, right? And you can tell because the rhetoric they speak about black women tells you they're hurt. So if you can't speak favorably, if you can't speak calmly, you can't speak love and appreciation into black women, and you're dating outside a race, you're dating because you have wrong reasoning. You have a wrong reasoning. You're not dating the other race of a woman because, oh, she's amazing. You're dating her because you have a bitterness towards your own kind.
Men are literally telling us we're pushing them away. And to negate it, to say, oh, that's just an excuse, is negating their feeling and, again, making them go over there where they're being heard.
Yo, nobody travels.
They still have, don't they have something called mail order brides and all that kind of stuff?
Crazy.
Yo, this is crazy to me.
I mean, they don't also have to travel to find.
Let me just speed this up. Sorry, guys.
To talk to other race women.
Are you telling me, what is it, like 400 million people in the United States, something like that?
I think a lot of it has to do with demographics as well.
Millions of people in this country.
400 million people.
You dated 3 black girls.
No, thank you, Zoom. What up, Richie?
So,
literally, I talked to him.
And I don't give a fuck. He can come on the panel too.
Yes.
Well, that's not what we're going to do.
Anybody can get the smoke.
I mean, he did not come with that.
I don't understand. Like,
what I'm saying is that I don't know him. And so when you use him as an example, I'm going to speak to that specific example. But everybody can get the smoke. Like, I'm speaking in a general sense. For me, I think about it. Let's say it's 400 million people here. And you telling me let's not even cut it to half. Let's say 180 million women. You can't find one
Mm-hmm.
that would be submissive.
I will say
to you?
this.
You can't find one that ain't smart.
I always
talking
say
to
this.
And
Yep.
look at all the single men on the
I always say this. You telling me as a man, as you the one who are going out to search, you can go anywhere. As a man, you can go anywhere. Right? You can go anywhere. You have that luxury. And you telling me you couldn't find one black woman that would be submissive. He's absolutely right. You telling me you can't find that? You can't find one black woman that will be that likes what you like, that gets on with you, that respects you, that appreciates you. Boy, you know you lying. You know you ain't looked hard enough, bro. Like, let's be honest. You went with the road less traveled. It's easier to go down another road. And I get it. I've been there and I understand. And if it hadn't been for the fact I had the first girlfriend that was actually black, I may have gone to the white side too. It's just on a reality, right? Because I was afraid, I was hurt by the rejection I was getting. And so I wanted to go where I was loved. Simple as that, right? Simple as that.
the late lives, like you, like
Yeah, but then, but then when we test them, we say, oh, okay, cool. Well, let's have a conversation. They be like, they don't even know how to have a conversation with a person. You know what's up.
I want to ask a question to the panel real quick because
That's real.
one of the things that she spoke about was attitude amongst black women. So I just want to talk about, like, what does that look like? A black woman that has this attitude. What does that look like?
Talking about, JR? The American black woman is the most docile, gentle, understanding woman on the face of the planet. What the fuck are you talking about?
oh, you so nice.
What are you talking about?
It's the sarcasm for me.
Fuck outta here, bro.
We're not
Y'all
talking about
act
your
like
wife.
y'all have no goddamn attitude, bro. Y'all have an attitude waking up some goddamn times. Listen, bro. Stop the madness. Come on, man. Y'all weird in these streets, bro. Come on, man. You can't say hello to a woman sometimes without her cutting her eyes and trying to cuss you out in the middle of the street. What y'all talking about? And y'all
I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I've experienced this. I won't lie to you, and it has been black women. But then again, I only approach black women. So, and listen, let me tell you this for free. My first rejection was not a black woman; it was a white girl. Let's not pretend to sit. Don't be so ignorant. Don't be so ignorant that you think it's only black people with a bad attitude. I'm telling you, listen, you will go there. But I get it. There are white women that when we grow up and we get a little bit older, white women that appreciate black men. I get it. But you can get rejected the exact same way. I remember my first rejection was a white girl. I remember the rejection too. Ew, get away from me. So, before I got rejected by a black girl, and the honest truth is, I get what you're saying about attitude. I've experienced it. I said this before, but I think it comes with, again, inner city spiritual principalities, man. I'm telling you, the spirit of inner city will make people aggressive. The spirit of inner city will make people aggressive. Because when I moved up, obviously in my country, in UK, when I moved further north, away from the main city of London, I found black people to be much more encourageable, friendly, warm, inviting. The attitude weren't really there. When I was in London, though, bruv, I was finding so much attitude is ridiculous. And I'm not even saying it's just necessarily them. Everybody had that attitude. Men, women, whatever, white, black, Asian, everybody has that attitude. So I guess it makes sense for them to have an attitude in a particular type of way, right? When I came up north, it wasn't the same way. I'm guessing maybe it might be the same for those in America. Maybe down south it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? So it depends on where you're based. I think this attitude comes along with the spiritual territories, the spiritual territory of aggression that resides in these inner cities.
think that don't push nobody away? Y'all
I'm not going to another country to chase no chick, bro.
Nobody said that, Tom. That's what I'm saying, bro.
I'm talking about that other point. Like that news is going overseas.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I'm not chick.
I'm not going overseas. No pussy, bro.
I know. I understand that. But again, let's stop dealing in life in extremities, right? The extreme fashion. Go find. Hey, if that's what you want to do you. I don't care. But for us to sit up here and say like, this some bullshit. This some bullshit. I hate when people.
He crying about it, but hey, listen. As for me, look, I get it. We've been there. I've experienced some of the attitude that you're talking about, sir. I have seen it, and it has been from black women. I've experienced it. I've seen people laugh at me for no reason. Not even say no reason, but just be rude about laughing about my appearance or laughing about this, or they don't like this or don't like that, and they'll voice it to you. One thing I would say is, listen. You know what? At first, it feels like you learn to kind of like navigate. What I mean by that is, as a community of black people, we can be very critical and very harsh of each other. It's not just women. We can be critical and harsh of each other in general. And that harshness and criticalness and judgment falls on the women too. And they end up doing the exact same thing to men that men do in general, how we do to each other, right? That critical harshness is when you see another black man thriving and you start making up stories because you feel like he shouldn't be where he is. Or you can't celebrate another black man for improving his position because, oh, he must be doing X, Y, and Z. That critical harshness then falls back onto your community of women, and they do the exact same thing. But it nonetheless doesn't change how painful it can be. And sometimes that attitude is geared at a young age, especially. I want to talk about this at a young age. The attitude that prevails seems to be related to what we call toxic masculinity traits. As you get older, I find that less frequent. I find that black women are very accommodating. Black women are very appreciative. Now, of course, there's going to be some restraint and restriction, but in most cases, I find them to be quite appeasing. I find rudeness to be very little. Like, I rarely see that. It's only when we're like out and about and them things there, cause like social gatherings. I think that's where we normally see it. But anyway, listen. Let me know your thoughts down below. Maybe there's a reason why. You know, give me a reason why. Maybe you see things differently. Maybe the women for the men are also doing too much with their mouths, talking too much. You know, so let me know your thoughts down below. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. See you soon. You know what time.